Hey everyone, it's me, Ari Rashid. I'm an anthropologist and sociologist. Hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel, become a member channel, donate the links below, check my novels on Amazon, quick video. Have you ever noticed that anytime you begin to fast and pray regularly, suddenly all these distractions pop up? People you haven't spoken to in years, out of the blue, contact you. Either on social media, or they ring your phone, you don't even know how they got your phone number. Or maybe it's not people from far in the past. Maybe your mom or one of your siblings or your spouse or a coworker. People just begin to call you, text you out of the blue, right when you are in prayer and fasting. Why is that? Let me tell you why. Prayer and fasting, when you do this regularly as a lifestyle, I'm not saying you do this once in a while or once a year. When it has become your lifestyle, you fast and pray, you have become extremely effective in triggering outcomes on your own behalf. Didn't Jesus say that there are some kinds of demonic activities that will not disappear except through fasting and prayer? So what Christ said was, look, there are going to be difficulties you have in life that will only be resolved through fasting and prayer. Why? Why? Because it's not you. You're doing your part. If you're doing your part and things will get better, then it's not you. There are others involved. And the others are not evil spirits. The evil spirits are others, but those are not others to talk about other human beings. Look, you're not the only human being on the earth. That also means that when it comes to daily life and circumstances in life, not everything can be just because of you. You also have other people around you. There are times, there are difficulties that affect you, not because of fault on your own, but because you have become collateral damage by other people's bitterness, by other people's neglect. It happens. Don't think if you do your best, do your part, everything goes well in life. That's a fairy tale. That formula doesn't even add up. If you're the only one on the earth, then if you do your best, everything goes smoothly. But you're not the only one on the earth. And if you were the only one on the earth, things wouldn't go smoothly because you're a community creature, you need other people. So it takes a team to make the dream work, absolutely. So understand this. When you begin to fast and pray, you are triggering the ether. You're triggering the heavenlies. When this happens, the triggers you cause will have physical outcomes. It will have physical effect on the earth. You are affecting physical circumstances around you. That means other people are affected by your fast and prayer. Even people you don't know, even people that you never met before, they're affected by your fasting and praying. When you begin to fast and pray regularly, you are uprooting and burning all negativity that's been installed in the atmosphere around you. And that means all the people who are part of negativity will feel this backfire. So when you're doing this, the evil spirits will now use people who are available to stop you or to hinder you. As a matter of fact, all of society, at least modern day society, in the Western world, and also in many other parts of the world, is organized in such a way to block you from fasting and praying. Why? Because of the 9 to 5. You need to wake up in the morning, freshen up, to go to work. Once you're out of work, you're tired, mentally and physically. You need to relax. You barely have time for friends and family and the things that actually matter to you. And then you do it again the next day. And you only have 2 times a year that you go on vacation. Or maybe some holidays in between. So when do you have time to fast and pray? Because it's through fasting and prayer that stubborn difficulties are uprooted. Why? Because through fasting and prayer, the people who are part of the problem will keep things going, are dealt with. And you don't have to deal with them one-on-one physically, because that can either lead to one of you going to prison or one of you dying. No. By you walking by faith, fasting and praying, you trigger the spirit world, which affects physical circumstances that they are part of, and affects them in such a way that they don't want, and they will face affliction repercussions for being part of the problem. Now, you don't control this. Neither you control how they react to it. Nevertheless, it's happening. And let me tell you, when you begin to fast and pray, not only is the darkness around you burnt away and uprooted, and that will also affect people who are part of the darkness, but you yourself will improve meanwhile. And others will notice your improvement. But at the same time you're improving, others will notice that around you, there are things falling apart. Now, if people lack understanding, they may think you're a witch or a warlock or a wizard who sold out people around you just to have some success. Now, there are people involved in paganism and Satanism who do things like this. So it may appear like that's what you've done. No, that's not the case. The negativity around you is because the human beings who don't face themselves want to keep escaping. That negativity turns to bitterness that causes harm in the environment. Harm also affects you. Now, if you were part of the harm, but you repent, you did your part, you're not part of it anymore. But it doesn't mean that you're not affected anymore. So when you begin to fast and pray, the things you cannot deal with yourself are dealt with. And here's the best part. When the victory works out, nobody can point a finger at you, as if you're the one who did it. You triggered it and caused it to happen. However, it's the guidance of the Heavenly Father that made it happen. So you trigger what goes on, and then Father guides the outcomes what you've triggered. But your part is you're triggering it. Now, does society want this? No. Society wants you to be a compliant, obedient victim that does everything through the system so that everyone can be left alone and feel at ease. Society wants you to prioritize society above yourself and to submit yourself to the ease of society. That's what society wants. If you don't, you get punishment or you get abandoned or whatever. So only society has is violence. By fasting and prayer, you are uprooting and burning away the violence behind the scenes. Violence is not physical first, it's spiritual first. So you have a spiritual tension that's negative, and that spiritual tension now works out in physical negative behavior, which is violence. So if violence is the only thing society has, then you dealing with them, you either need to have bigger physical violence than society has, or else you're not going to make it. So what you need to do is, the root of what you have, violence, is negative tension. So you burn away and uproot the negative tension spiritually. And because you do that, their physical violence won't be that effective anymore. Remember, the courthouse, the military, the police, they all rely on physical violence at the end of the day. Whether violence is organized through institution or not, it's still violence. So if you deal with a negative tension, that's from which your violence comes from, what do you have left? Nothing. But here's the problem. Only believers can do this. Unbelievers cannot uproot the negative tension nor burn it away. Because they're part of the negative tension, because they're part of the world. So as a believer, your advantage is you can deal with the problem even before it begins. When negative tension bounces off you, or when negative tension, when it's around you, burns away, all the human beings who are part of negative tension can't even act out negativity towards you because they're blocked or they're shut down. That's where you need to be. You don't start solving problems when the problems are there. When the problems are destroying you, the problems are far gone. You start solving problems even before the problems begin. This is what you do. And that's how we need to be. And that's why society is organized in such a way to hinder you in fasting and prayer. The most important thing that's necessary to do in this lifetime, fasting and prayer. That's the only thing that will keep you safe from societal, organized, and random violence. That's the one thing they're blocking you from doing. Why? Because without violence, there is no society. And without violence, worldlings cannot be stable and have their ease. If they don't have their ease, they turn on one another. That's the reality. However, that's not your problem. The world should be serving the Heavenly Father. They don't, then it's not on you when they crash. Don't your breakthrough. Don't feel guilty about it. You're not doing anything wrong. They are. If they were not negativity, there wouldn't be any backfire and they wouldn't be crashing. So continue to walk by faith, keep dreaming Christ, and I'll see you in the next live stream. Shalom.